Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Prediction Show from Eagle Pass Sports Central. My name is Ruben Valadez, and along with my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., we're talking softball for the spring episode of the Prediction Show. We've got head softball coaches from both Eagle Pass High School and C.C.Winn High School with us here today. EPISD Athletic Director Eric Villaseñor. And Morris, as we lead on the show, I'll hand it over to you. You coached a little softball back in the day with your daughter.
Softball. I had to give her opportunity. She told me if I was coaching the boys, I had to coach her, and I only did it one season though. Coca's done a lot better job at coaching softball than I did. But anyway, yes, we're here today. We've got our softball coaches from both Eagle Pass High School and CC. I'll turn it over here to our choreographer. He keeps us going straight.
Good afternoon to our community, and thank you to Mr. Valadez, Mr. Lipson for hosting us and providing this community. Before I introduce our head softball coaches, just a special shout out to our EPHS boys soccer team. They were by-district champs, first time in school history. And just finished their season, lost in the second round to Edinburgh North. However, just a phenomenal season for our kids, and really showcased our community and our boys program in a positive way. So congratulations to Coach Reese, staff, and our players. Today, we're going to focus on our softball programs at high school and Eagle Pass High School. To my right, with 34 years of experience, Coach Oscar Ruiz. Currently, our ladies are in first place. Does a great job, and year in and year out, we're in the championship race, or if not, winning the district championship. So just does a great job and has a great team. To my left, with 19 years of experience, and our man is in the thick of the playoff race and does a great job as well, Coach Tony Martinez. So softball programs are in great at both campuses, and I'll allow our coaches the spotlight today and our kids and their programs. So I'm going to pass it over to them.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll start here to my left with head softball coach Tony Martinez. Coach, your fourth year in charge of the softball program there at C.C.Winn High School. Talk to us a little bit about what your team looks like this year in terms of veteran leadership and girls that you've brought up, and how you're doing in the season so far.
Well, this year, since the beginning of in the off season, we talked about accountability and then changing the around, and the girls bought in since the off season, and it showed, because now they're all in and they've been working hard. Things have not gone on. At the end of the day, they're still showing up and eager to learn, and that's the best thing. We have 3 seniors that have been in the program with me since I got there. So they've been able to help out, and I'm leaning on them, to guide the girls, and then returners as well. So they're getting the game experience, so that way they can continue to achieve, to great things.
In terms of the goals that you set out when you took over this program, we talk a lot about, in all of these sports, the importance of kind of vertical integration, mm-hmm. right? Making sure that at the freshman and at the JV level, mm-hmm. your teams are being taught what they need to, so that when they get to varsity, they're able to play for you. Mm-hmm. Have you been able to do that in your time at the program?
Yes, especially in the off season, because we get a lot of girls that don't play, so that's where we have to integrate a lot of the situations and things that they do not know. From the simple things of just throwing and catching and, basic hitting. And, and we have 37 girls right now in the program, and they're there every day, and they've gotten better, and I see it, and, and C.C.Winn, the future is great. So, I'm grateful for all the girls and for the parents for all the support that we've been given.
You talked about game situations, yes. Right? We're in the midst of March Madness right now. You're looking at all the games, and sometimes stuff breaks down at the end of games, and you forget that these are 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids sometimes, and maybe you can't coach them up single situation that's going to happen. How important during the week or while you're not playing games is game?
It's very important, because we've been when we go over game situations, usually it happens in the game. So, and the girls are able to remember, but communication is key. So that's one thing that we've been going over in practice. That way we all know what's going on, because sometimes, it happens, they forget. But at the same time, they communicate, they come off the field, and, we're able to talk to them about what could happen, what could be done, and then we just forget about it and move on, because that's the next pitch is the best, is what's the most important. So that's why, we kind of have to have a short-term memory, but at the same time, learn from our mistakes and just move on.
That's where the armbands and the numbers
Yes.
that get shouted out come in, right? Which I always find
Yes.
fascinating when I go see softball games.
Yes.
There's all these numbers being yelled out. Those are game situations. Those are depending who's on base, depending what batter's up.
Those pitches where we want them, depending on which pitcher's there, because they have different pitches. But at the same time, I'm able to communicate if there's runners on first and third, what situation where what I want the catcher to do. But also, but for the most part, the girls are already aware, because we go over it so many times in practice. So they already kind of know how to line up. And also, when it comes down to the pitching, we want to go outside kind of the outfield shades, or we're going inside, what the outfield needs to do, what the infield needs to do. But it takes time. And you got to rep it in practice. And then now, when they get out there, I kind of don't have to be screaming so much for them to line up, because they're already.
It's the little things that make a difference.
Yes.
They add up in the course of a game, don't they?
Yes.
That's right. You're in a tough district, lots of teams
Yes.
in this district. You're kind of having to go all over the place, Laredo, San Antonio, and back. What does this back half of the season look like for you, and what do you have to do to try to get into the playoffs?
We just got to take it one game at a time. We've lost some close ones, and the girls are aware. They've, a run here, a hit here, eliminate an error here and there, we'll be in a totally different situation right now. But, we can't hinder on the past. We just got to learn from it. We just got to continue to move. This is a big game tonight, which is our night as well. So, but, if we're there, then we'll be in the mix of things. We got 5 games left, and I know that we're capable of beating those teams, because we've been in those games. So, and the good thing is that we're able to go back and watch film, and the girls are able to analyze, how to improve and how the pitching them. And that's the biggest thing that also this year, that the girls have been able to go back and analyze what they could improve, that we don't have to be there always coaching them up, that they're able to go back. And then they come back to me and they say, Coach, I understand what you mean when, my back shoulder or my hands are dipping, or I did this or I did that, because they're watching the film, so that's a big key that's been helping us, and that's going to. At the sack.
That's at the SAC.
Yes, the KZ sack.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you in the remainder of the season. Thank you so much for heading the program. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
I appreciate it.
Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you.
Morris, we'll turn here right now.
Well, that's good that I have time to think, because you usually cover everything. but then I've got 34 years of experience, so nonetheless that I know that Tony also has been in the grind for many years now. But Coach, welcome to the show, and we're going to talk about the Lady Eagles. You've been around a long time, so you pretty much have seen it all. It's rare that after so many years you run across that you haven't seen. But I think the basic stuff is always the same. You're down there, you're in the dugout, you're in the coaching box. And what had always amazed me continues to amaze me about college softball and high school softball is the speed of the game, the shorter distances. How a bunt can do great things, and how you can tell us first a little bit about your the composition of your team, and winning breeds winning. We know that, and you're expected to win, which makes it that much tougher. So tell us a little bit about your team this year, as far as your seniors, your depth, and how it's composed.
Thank you for the invitation, sir, for allowing us to promote our softball teams. Uh, our softball team is composed of 16 players. We got 4 seniors, we got 6 juniors, we got 1 sophomore, and we got 5 freshmen. And our seniors, they're the they're the main source of our team. They're head. I mean, players. They're the captains. They're the leaders. They're great girls. You mention them. Their names. They're our captain and our leaders. Nina Silva, back in Lisa Gomez, Karina Gomez, and Clarissa Leja.
Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about, how do you bring around your younger players? There's a heck of a lot of difference, although you have talent, but between your seniors and your freshmen, there's a lot there, especially in, actual game experience. JV, you can play travel ball, you can play a lot of different things. But when you get right down to it, like we mentioned, the speed of the game is makes a big difference.
It changes from freshman to traveling ball to varsity ball, and that's one thing where our coaching staff and our help out tremendously. I mean, we get them at the young age. We try to have a mixture at the varsity level, and for the same reason, seniors are going to graduate, and you always got to come up. And
next scroll up.
That is correct, and that's what a lot of people were asking me last year. We graduated 7 seniors, and hey, what are you going to do now? Next scroll up, and that is our basic training. That is our fundamental. That is a philosophy. I mean, we're going to play with our next men up, and our leaders, our seniors, year after year, have always guided our younger ones in a way that they treat them like little sisters, but at the same time treat them with the responsibility and ownership that they got to follow.
Tell us your season so far. Where are you in the season? What the standings, and how many games you have left?
We're in the middle of the season right now. We're 7-0 in district. Very fortunate. Our girls have played tremendously great. We just had our probably biggest game that we had to win last Tuesday, and we played Mina Valley, and that was a game that it took all 16 of us, coaching staff, managers, and everything. It was 6-6, top of the 6. Oh no, it's 2-2, top of the 6, and we had to do our thing. And the girls manufacture runs like we always done before. They find a way. They don't panic. They execute, and we executed 2 runs, and that was the difference in the game.
Those are the games that make or break your team. Pressure and experience that you want to get them used to.
That is correct, sir. And luckily, unfortunately, those leaders or seniors and the midsection of our battle lineup, they don't panic. They seem to enjoy that moment.
Well, you've got the second part of your season coming, and being undefeated sort of puts a target on you, doesn't it? Everybody's going to pitch their best pitcher against you. Everybody's going to try to go off and knock you off.
And just like Martinez mentioned, our next game is our next biggest game, and then we tell our girls, "Hey, our next game, no matter who, it might be 0-10." That's our biggest game. That's our biggest competition. And we take it one game at a time. And we believe that we can compete, especially with our pitching. We got 2 great pitchers. Our returning letterman, which is Sophie Torres, and our newcomer, she had an injury last year, is Emily Valdez. They are tremendous on the circle.
You just mentioned something very important. Just like in baseball, but in softball especially, having somebody on the that can put the ball where you need to put it. And I guess I continue to be amazed by the different types of pitches that are thrown by softball pitchers. And it behooves me how they can throw a ball underhanded and make it do what it does. The drop, I don't know. You can tell me more about that. But I think the key still is you have to pitch, not throw. And that means putting the ball where you're asking them to put it or where the catcher's asking them to put them. You already know there's good hitters in opposing teams.
That is correct. And you mean, you mentioned the key, not throw. They got to pitch. And I mean, that lefty that we have and the righty, they can they can really bring it. And they got that riser, the drop, the curveball, and they ask for that pitch when they need it. And our coach, Coach Ricky Ruiz, does a real good job with them concerning knowing when to bring that pitch and knowing when not to.
Well, calling pitches is an important part because you've also probably looked at some film. You've done some scouting. You know who the better hitters are up and down the ups of your opposition. So uh, uh, we talked tonight. Anything else that you'd like to add that we may have missed?
No, just like you mentioned, our team is always humble, always willing to take the challenge, and our coaching staff is tremendously good. And they work, we work, and just like C.C.Winn staff is always, and we believe and we hate to lose, and we always try to find a way to win because at the end of the day, it's easier.
Especially in Eagle Pass high school softball, you're pretty much expected to win. It's pretty much what you're supposed to do. So I know that you work hard at doing that. We have a very special situation today that we've got both of our high schools playing here. So you all are playing at different or over at the SAC, and you have a game here tonight also.
Correct, sir. And before I mention our game, I just want to thank Coach Senor, athletic director. We didn't have a field at the beginning of the year, and Coach Senor and administration is always a way to take care of us. And we were very fortunate to use the city complex. And day in, day out, they drive us over there, take us in a yellow bus, and we make sure we practice. We make sure we're taken care of. And our game night, we got a 5 o'clock and a 7 o'clock game, and it's going to be packed at the city complex, at the C.C.Winn City Complex. We're going to have the Saddles baseball team there. There's going to be elementary championship game, and then you're going to have your Lady Eagles on the other side.
There's going to be a lot going on at the C.C.Winn Sports Complex tonight, isn't there? You can pretty much catch the softball. You can catch the Mexican League and playing some selective team for Eagle Pass for our Friendship Festival. And probably have a youth baseball going on over there too. So it's going to be a real busy night. And then, of course, over at the SAC, at the Lynn Purcell Student Activity Center, we've softball field. We're going to have the C.C.Winn Lady Mavericks playing over there. So some closing remarks from you and
From our coaching staff and Lady Eagles, we wish C.C.Winn a good luck tonight and take care of business. And I want to invite all our fans to the game tonight, and hopefully we can take care of business.
well, we're going to bring Coach Villaseñor back in here for tell us what else is going around the Eagle Pass ISD sports-wise. And I know that there's right now it's softball season, but we've also got we've just had soccer and we've got I think track going on.
Yes, sir. So we do have our district track meets coming up, 5A for Winn High School. Those will take place on next week, Wednesday and Thursday at South San. South San will be the district host. And then the 8th and 9th, we'll have the 6A district track meet, and United ISD will be the host. So it's getting, we're getting into the meat of our schedules where, in the track meets, that's opportunities for a meet. We're in the thick of the playoff race with softball. We have junior high soccer starting up April 13th, and all of those games will be at the Lynn Purcell Student Activity Center. So we're winding it down, and then once we wind it down, now we get calls for season football tickets. The cycle starts again. So.
And of course, bring something up because I think I'm the only one here that probably saw it, but there's another Villaseñor running track,
Yeah.
I believe, and
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one here that saw Grandpa Villaseñor Oki run.
Yeah.
And of course, I saw you run, not
Yes, sir.
on the football field, baseball field, and some track. But Matty is now also running for C.C.Winn.
Yes, sir. So get to watch him next week. He's running in 3 events, and as I mentioned earlier, I'll be a nervous wreck.
Makes you a little nervous than you would normally be, right,
Yeah.
Coach?
Well, what I hear is that he gets his speed from his mother. She's probably listening.
Total package right there.
No, but good luck. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Take us home.
Well, folks, there's plenty of opportunity tonight for you to watch both of these softball teams. C.C.Winn over at the sports complex over at the SAC, and Eagle Pass High School softball team at the city complex, along with an array of other sports activities there that goes together with the Friendship Festival here, the Cross Border Festival every month. So no excuse to not get out tonight and catch some sports. We'll be back next month talking to our baseball coaches, our head baseball coaches from both programs. In the meantime, we wish both teams well. We wish the track teams well as we move forward. And we want to thank everybody for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Look us up on our Facebook page, Eagle Pass Sports Central. Partner?
One last shout out to our Eagle Pass High School soccer team. They for the first time in school history, they advanced.
Yes, just a great job by our kids and our coaches, and just happy for them.
Making history here in Eagle Pass, as always. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.